Some have said the difference between a conspiracy theory and the truth is about 6 to 12 months. But I'm not here to discuss those. I'm here to guide your tinfoil-covered head down an enlightened path to some of the greatest conspiracy theory movies ever made. At least I think so.
You suck, you jackass!
Thank you so much for clicking on this video to see what this terminally online jackass has to say about some great movies that you may or may not have seen. If you could like and share this video, that would help me keep growing. Feel free to check out my other content, including my YouTube shorts with reviews of all the latest and greatest films. I watch a lot, so you don't have to. Anyway, I've already compiled and released a part 1 to this video, which includes a few honorable mentions from numbers 10 to 6. So feel free to give those a watch, but if you're lazy like me, here's the list thus far. The honorable mentions are JFK, My Dinner with Andre, and Wag the Dog. So counting down from 10 to 6, at number 10 we have Conspiracy Theories starring Mel Gibson and Julia Roberts. Number 9 is the Will Smith conspiracy action flick Enemy of the State that also stars Gene Hackman, Jon Voight, and a young unknown Jack Black. At number 8 is the Sidney Pollack classic 3 Days of the Condor starring Robert Redford and Faye Dunaway. Number 7 is The Parallax View starring Warren Beatty and directed by the great Alan J. Pakula. And at number 6 is the classic thriller The Manchurian Candidate starring Frank Sinatra, Lawrence Harvey, and Janet Leigh. All of those are fantastic films well worth your time, especially if you're a conspiracy-minded individual who needs a little predictive programming with their morning coffee. So while we're at it, let's get on with the rest of the list, shall we? Number 5, Arlington Road. This 1999 conspiracy thriller is a hidden gem that'll make you side-eye your neighbors for weeks. Jeff Bridges absolutely kills it as a paranoid professor who thinks his new neighbors are domestic terrorists. Tim Robbins brings his A-game per usual as the suspiciously perfect neighbor, and Joan Cusack is downright chilling in her role. The plot twists and turns like a rabid snake, keeping you guessing until the explosive finale. Sure, there's some that might say the ending flies off the rails a bit, but that's what makes it so damn memorable. It's a gut punch that'll leave you reeling and questioning the very fabric of society. I don't know, that may be hyperbolic. It's like the bastard child of The Parallax View and Rear Window with a dash of Oklahoma City bombing paranoia thrown in for good measure. Arlington Road is the kind of high-octane, thought-provoking thriller that Hollywood doesn't have the balls to make anymore. It's a must-watch for any conspiracy buff or anyone who likes their thrillers with a hefty dose of holy shit moments. Number 4, Eyes Wide Shut. In what would be Stanley Kubrick's final masterpiece, Eyes Wide Shut is like Alex Jones's wet dream come to life on the big screen.
I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay.
Exposing the depraved rituals of the Illuminati elite that would make even the most hardened conspiracy theorist's jaw drop. Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman bring the heat as a couple caught in a web of sexual intrigue, while Kubrick's direction is tighter than a Bilderberg security detail. The cinematography is so crisp that you can practically smell the incense at the orgy scenes. This hit your grandma's conspiracy theory movie, folks. Kubrick peels back the layers of high society like an onion made of pure degeneracy. It's got more symbolism than a Freemason convention and enough hidden messages to keep you up at night wondering what the hell you just watched. I think it's a rabbit hole that goes deeper than the Denver airport's underground tunnels, or so the website formerly known as Twitter likes to tell me. Number 3, They Live. John Carpenter had one hell of a run in the 80s, and his mind-bending cult classic They Live is the granddaddy, or maybe the drunken uncle of all conspiracy theory movies, exposing the alien elite pulling the strings of our consumer-driven society. Rowdy Roddy Piper brings his A-game as our working-class hero, chewing bubblegum and kicking alien ass with equal gusto. Carpenter's direction is tight as a drum, delivering a perfect blend of sci-fi action and biting social commentary that'll make you question every billboard you see. The iconic sunglasses reveal this world of subliminal messages and alien overlords that'll have you reaching for your tinfoil hat. Keith David brings the heat as Piper's reluctant ally, and their alley fight scene is pure cinematic gold. South Park even did a complete reenactment of it for their Cripple Fight episode. The practical effects still hold up with those creepy alien faces guaranteed to haunt your dreams. They Live can be perceived as a wake-up call wrapped in an 80s action flick. It's more relevant now than ever, exposing the lies we're fed daily by the mainstream media and corporate overlords. Number 2, All the President's Men. And what I'd consider more relevant than ever, the mother of all conspiracy flicks, All the President's Men, ain't just your average tinfoil hat conspiracy theory movie. This is the real deal, exposing the corporate underbelly of the White House. If you already don't believe a word a politician says, well, this movie won't help make it any better. Robert Redford and Dustin Hoffman are on top of their game as Woodward and Bernstein, two reporters who don't know when to quit. They're like bloodhounds on the scent of corruption, and they won't stop until they've torn down the whole damn system. Alan J. Pakula, who also directed the other classic on this list, The Parallax View, directs this tighter than the security at Area 51 that is able to keep the tension ridiculously palpable without a single explosion or car chase. The attention to detail is insane. You can practically smell the ink on the typewriters and taste the desperation in the air. This flick puts on a clinic in building tension. It's like watching a game of 4D chess between the press and the most powerful men in the world. And the best part? It's all true. This isn't some Hollywood fantasy. This shit actually went down. But the Watergate theories that have emerged are a conversation for a completely different segment. Number 1, The Conversation. And what I'd consider to be Francis Ford Coppola's forgotten masterpiece, The Conversation is the GOAT of all surveillance thrillers that exposes the dark underbelly of privacy invasion long before the NSA was caught with its pants down. The Conversation is one of 2 movies Coppola released in 1974, and it was also nominated for Best Picture along with his other film that year, which happened to be The Godfather Part 2. With his filmography, I can't say The Conversation is my favorite movie of Coppola's, but I can't give you a reason as to why it's not. It's fabulously flawless. Gene Hackman brings the heat as Harry Call, a surveillance expert who's more paranoid than a flat earther at NASA. His performance is so twitchy and intense, you'll be checking your own apartment for bugs by the end credits. Coppola's direction is tighter than a tinfoil hat, ratcheting up the tension with every frame. The way he uses sound in this flick will make you question every conversation you've ever had. It's like Enemy of the State for the analog age. The supporting cast is stacked like a government cover-up with a very young Harrison Ford and John Cazale, and the ending will blow your mind harder than a JFK conspiracy theory marathon. It is indeed a stark reminder that Big Brother was watching long before we all started carrying tracking devices in our pockets. It's an absolute classic that is more relevant than ever 50 years later. So that's going to conclude this 2-part event. Hopefully it wasn't as anticlimactic as I expect it was, but what did you expect when you clicked on this video?
He's kidding.
How do you feel about these movies? What are some of your favorite conspiracy theory movies? Anything I missed? I'm going to ask once again, what are some of your favorite conspiracy theories? Just remember, YouTube, this is all for fun. As always, the opinions in this video are mine and mine alone, but what do I know? I'm but a mere jackass. Until next time, keep your tinfoil hats on and your eyes wide open. I'll try to do better next time. Catch you later, friends.
That talks too much. I'm just a jackass of all trades, don't know shit. I'll keep on talking, acting like I'm so legit. From politics to sports, I'll spout.